sort of the easiest thing to do is, if it's July 5th, you go July 5th. And I've recently learned that you want to put in the year, because that's going to be significant. So whatever year it is, put in that year. This is actually kind of interesting. My daughters and I have created a time machine. I am actually recording this workshop from the future and sending it back in time to you. So it'll be, I do apologize if some of the tools that I use haven't been invented yet, but don't worry, in a little bit of time, you'll be able to see all of these tools and effects. All right, so, and then you write, where am I? I'm in San Mateo. Now, this is a rather kind of plonking way to put in metadata. But you can start to, basically what you're doing is you're date stamping and geolocating your journal page. And if I do those things, the whole page becomes a lot more interesting, a lot more useful. When was it that we had that massive electric storm in the San Francisco Bay Area? Well, you're going to have that recorded in your journal, right? And you can just put a little box like this in the corner of a page, and for years that's what I did. And then looking at journal pages from other people, there's all sorts of fun things that you can do. For instance, you can let's play. This is a chance to be playful and goofy and just sort of get something on the page. Or sometimes you're just sort of feeling stuck. What should I do? What should I do? Well, just get something on the page. And if you're wondering, how do I even start today? You can write, all right, so here is a little box that I'm making, and it is September 5th. I'm going to continue that box down around there. So that's kind of fun. I just put the month up there. I put the down here, and then if you're good with calligraphy or something, or have neat lettering, you can just start playing with these sorts of things, and that can be kind of fun. Another thing that is useful to put in is the weather. So if it is cloudy, which it will be for you on July 5th, 2025, you just write in cloudy. Another thing you can do is you can draw in the little weather symbols. All right, and here I just tucked this one behind. And let's say it's partially cloudy. Why do that this way? Just because it's kind of fun. It's just kind of fun. And then you can write where you are. Another thing that is really fun to do is to give yourself a little could you go into the laundry room and get my telephone? It's plugged in. And bring that in for me. You can give yourself a little geolocation map. Where are you on the Earth today? Especially if you are traveling, or you want to kind of you want to get something that shows where you are. Well, what you can do is you open any, let me see, open a mapping tool. Let's say you've got on, if you have a telephone, you can, say you are up in Point Reyes, you can bring up a telephone and look, there's a map of Point Reyes, right? And we can go like, let's say, where am I? You know, let's say I'm out there at Abbott's Lagoon. Let's go to Abbott's Lagoon, right? So you're out at Abbott's Lagoon. You can give yourself a little a little map of Abbott's Lagoon showing where you are relative to that. So let's say I was, you know, you want to think of like how much detail you want to put in there. We are, so let's say, here, we'll give this a try. Just do a quick little thing. It doesn't have to be a fancy map, but, oh, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make, just drawn myself 2 quick little squares. And on this one, I am going to show that Abbott's Lagoon is sort of shaped like this. And the trail that I'm on comes along here on this side. And I am drawing these things from that spot there. And now let's zoom out. And here we have Point Reyes. Drake Sestero coming down like that. And there's my little locator point where I am. So I can write.
It looks like a dragon or a dinosaur.
Point Reyes National Seashore. And there it is. And then if you want, you can, I mean, why not just make this part green? And I'm going to make this green. Helps you sort of see what is ocean and what is not. And there's all the sand dunes out here. The I always thought it was like cool when I saw these little locator maps in people's journals, and then realized that, you know, I was often carrying with me a tool that would allow me to, you know, you can zoom in and zoom out to, you know, whatever level of you know, resolution is significant to you. Like if you've never been to Oregon before and you're in Oregon and you're somewhere on the Oregon coast, maybe you've got something that is showing that this is the Oregon, you're in Oregon, oh boy, and you've got it. But if you're a local, right, then, you know, you probably have, you know, you're showing something like this, that, you know, here we are in Jesse Honeyman Memorial State Park, and we're just above Dune City, and, you know, and you put your spot wherever it is. So this is a really fun thing to add to your metadata. So other symbols that you can play with. You know, if it is windy, Right? You can make a little windy motion. I always wanted to be able to make a nature journal page that wasn't just doing that for the metadata, but would have lightning in it, just because once I started kind of adding weather metadata to my page, I realized I'd never gotten to use that kind of lightning bolt symbol. So there was sometime a few years ago, there was another electrical storm in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I went running out in it to a nearby mountain to go paint and journal in that weather under a big umbrella. Perhaps not the wisest move, but it was really fun. So if you got lightning in your area, just be safe. And if somebody ever gets a nature journal page that looks like this, right? You got to share it with us. Also, don't be too close. But so you can just have fun. If you go online to weather.com or just a bunch of different stations, Channel 5 News Weather, they will have a bunch of icons for weather. And you can look at their icons. You can look around a bunch of different sites and figure out what are the icons that you think are the easiest and most transferable to nature journaling for the sorts of weather that you see. And the so this is just a few little thoughts on kind of, you got to have your metadata in there. Again, just having your journal page date stamped and georeferenced takes the whole thing to a different level. Once it's date stamped and georeferenced, your journal page becomes scientific data. Before that, it was a pretty picture, right? But once this is in there, you have data. These are just some really kind of fun ways to embellish that. If you want to see other ways of really having fun with things like just the date and stuff like that, check out the journals of Kathy Johnson. Kathy Johnson is a nature journaler, mentor teacher who does absolutely wonderful nature journaling stuff. And sometimes it's the 25th and her 25, she has some kind of fun with that, and then drops the woodchucks and other things that she's seeing around that. There's a lot of interesting things that you can do with your page. This is just kind of to get you started.